time I was at school, we were playing hide and seek. One of my friends was the seeker and everyone else went and hid. We were in pairs and I was paired with my crush. He hid behind a shed and ducked down. He started talking to me so I blushed. And then I felt it. It was building up. I couldn't hold it in. No. This was gonna be bad. I could already smell it. I shouted all over my crush's face because he was behind me. I said, OMG, I'm so sorry. And he said, do it again, Baby Grill. I said, duck daddy. So I shot again and he licked it up. My friend found the sitting shit and called the ambulance. Me and my crush stayed in the hospital for 5 years. We got released back into the wild and broke into a zoo and we worked till licking up the animals poo. We are now happily married and bake cakes using shit. Anyways, turns out my grandma's dog's cousin's daughter's boyfriend has bowel cancer.
When I was packing my lunch, my grandpa asked me what I was eating, so I told him I was gonna eat a sandwich, apples and Takis. He asked what Takis were and I said they were spicy chips. He asked to try one, but my grandma told me that if I gave him a Taki I would regret it. I gave him one anyway. When he bit the Taki he jumped 65 feet in the air screaming. He was asking for milk and we gave him milk, but we forgot he was also lactose intolerant. While he was drinking the milk he ran out of the room and tripped on our pet pussy. He started farting and it sounded like we lived next to NASA when a rocket is about to launch. He let out the longest sloppy gloppy bloppy moppy noppy copy loppy floppy sloppy. When he fell I heard his back crackle McFrackle tackle. His back cracked, the cat attacked, roaches get attract, he broke his back, his shit turned abstract, he fell on the floor and couldn't get up no more, he was very sore, he looked like a dead boar. The pussy went bonker yonker plonker knocker conkers. We rushed him to the hospital and found out he died from a ruptured ribcage and explosive diarrhea. We also found out he had lymphedema, type 1 diabetes and type 2 diabetes, bowel cancer, the bubonic plague, the coronavirus, the Spanish flu, tuberculosis, malaria, AIDS, shitworm, measles and polio. I'm Debbie and this is my story. One day I was in my English class watching a movie about Shakespeare. I had beans and coffee before school, the most deadliest combination. It wasn't even that long before my stomach started rumbling when I got into class. The movie was really loud and I sat at the back of the class, so I thought it would be my perfect chance to let out the most bubbly fart so no one could hear it over the sound of the movie. As soon as I was about to do it, my teacher paused the movie to explain a scene, and that's when I let out the most soggy doggy, butchered froggy, shit comes out loggy, made the room foggy, so loud you would think it was the 4th of July. I swear to God, one kid sitting next to the window opened the blinds because he thought he heard a thunderstorm outside. I dropped my books on the floor in hope of a save, thinking that people would have thought the sound was my books dropping, but that's when the creamy lumps fell out of my pants onto the floor. I ran out crying to the bathroom and called my mom, and she took me home and got me new clothes. I had to go back to school the next day and everyone was laughing at me and was calling me Diarrhea Debbie.
Little, all my friends were wearing crop tops. I really wanted to wear one, but my mom, of course, wouldn't let me. So I was really mad. And one day I went to my friend Stella's house and she gave me a hand-me-down. She gave me a few hand-me-downs and I looked through them and one of them was a crop top. I put it on and my mom saw me with it on. She was like, "What are you wearing?" I was like, "Mom, it's a crop top." And she was really mad, but she said, "Okay, fine, you can wear it only at our house." And I was like, "Fine, at least I get to wear one." And a day comes where I go to the beach with my friend Isla, and we end up having a sleepover, and I remember about my crop top, and I literally threw it on. I was like, "Yes, crop top." And then I barge into the room where my mom is. I'm like, "Mom, I'm wearing a crop top and you can't stop me because I'm at home." And my friend looked at me so weird and I have not talked to her since.
I absolutely hate when you're like in English class or something and your teacher is just simply explaining your task to you. But then you decide to start a very loud conversation with your best friend. She notices you and your teacher gives you that look that really says no. She's like, "Oh, wait." You both look at her like, "I'm so sorry. Was my lesson interrupting your conversation?" "It's fine, guys. Seriously, I'll wait." I'm like, "Thank you, sister. Because I've still got to go through all the drama with my best friend. And last time I checked, you were teaching in our conversation." You have to have this one person in your class, or you're just lucky to get into a nice class. That one person who just always wants to be right. When someone answers a question and they get it right, they say this: Yeah, I got that too." Really? Next example. When they get it wrong and the teacher asks, "How did you go wrong? Where did you go wrong?" They explain and then they say this: "I was gonna do that." You weren't gonna do that, were you? Tell me that now. You weren't. Now stop trying to be the best in the class who gets everything right.
Things that our parents do. Parents always say that it's their house, but when it's time to do chores, it becomes our house too. Funny, right? When it's getting late, your parents will come into your room to check if you're sleeping. And if you're like me, you're probably like scrolling on TikTok. And then you hide your phone and pretend to be asleep. Every time there's guests at your house, your parents tell you to clean your room. Why? I don't know. And of course, parents blame everything on our phones. I'll be like, Mom, I can't find my homework. And she'll go, because of that phone. Send this video to one of your friends.
One time it was Christmas and my legal guardian took me to the mall to take a photo with the fake Santa that sits in the middle of the shopping center. I was waiting in the line with all the disgusting snot-nosed bastards when the abnormally obese Santa arrived. I suddenly became violently hungry, so I told my legal guardian to stay put while I go purchase and devour a bean burrito. I ate that shit like I was in a competition, then I confidently strutted back to the line. There were 2 kids left in front of us and I was losing my patience, so I struck one of them in the back of the head. The revolting child in front of me finished his photo, so I opened the gate with my chin up and began catwalking to Santa's abnormally large leg. I threw it back on his leg and I was ready to take the photo, when suddenly I didn't feel too good. I just remembered I'm disgustingly allergic to bean burritos, and that's when my stomach started to beatbox. Santa said say cheese, and that's when my abnormally tight hole expanded and began pouring out my bean shit like a tap faucet. Santa started going ho 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 ho, and that's when the cameraman started recording and taking photos. The bean shit was spraying everywhere like a busted pipe, and it began painting the walls. I started slowly yet erotically levitating from the force, causing the shit to pour on Santa, making him look like Bigfoot, and all I could hear were the camera clicks. I lost about 30 kilos and slowly floated down back into Santa's mushy lap, and there were families crying and hiding in the mall's bomb shelter. The photos developed and my parents framed them and hung them all over the house, and the Santa always hits me up every time I eat a bean burrito so I can sit on his lap again. One time I was in the bathroom at Walmart taking a violent shit and I noticed someone kept watching me through the crack. I said, if you don't fuck off, I'll kick your ass so hard my foot will come out through your mouth. He then started hysterically crying and he ran out. I was thinking what a little pathetic bitch was he. I couldn't flush the toilet because it was clogged, so I just left all the shit in there for the next lucky fucker to come along and witness it. I saw the man